Curr's Glasgow International Comedy Festival. I'm delighted to welcome the wonderful Stuart Lee.
Thanks for having me.
No problem at all.
Right.
You've been here for a wee while. You did 2 gigs in the end, didn't you, at the Comedy Festival?
Yeah, I did 2 on Monday at the Citizens Theatre because the first one sold out, which was great. And then we put an extra one on, and it was a really great room for me. I mean, normally the biggest places I'd play would be 200 or so, like here, and actually, you know, this would be the room of choice to play in Edinburgh or Glasgow, the stand room. But I've been doing slightly bigger rooms on tour, and it's a bigger sort of show now. I kind of run around the room a bit and use the balconies and have big things that I hold up. So in here it might have looked slightly mad actually. So, but it was really good at the Citizens Theatre because it's sold 1800s variety theatre, and they've got these balconies, and it's just the perfect room for that size of showroom.
And it's got a tremendous history, the Citizens Theatre. It's in the Gorbals, and it's got a great feel about it, the Citizens, actually. I mean, it is the People's Theatre, I think they sometimes call it.
Well, you know, when I did the first DVD I ever made, the production company wanted me to do it at the Bloomsbury in London, which was the nearest venue to where they lived, I think. But it is great to find a place that's got a real atmosphere as well. And that's why previously I'd always done things here at the Glasgow stand. But the Citizens is great. You know, if you just pick up some shots of the architecture there and the bits of the bits of sort of detail in the plasterwork, and it just looks fantastic. And I think it's nice there as well because you kind of feel like, okay, as an English comedian coming to Glasgow, even in the 80s, in the alternative comedy times, it still had that old school feel of being a place you should be scared of, you know. And there's that Des O'Connor story about how Morecambe Wise used to write messages on the undersides of his shoes when he did Glasgow because they knew he'd be so nervous that he would pass out on stage and say something underneath, you know, he would faint. And so I think it always had that feel of it. And certainly in the 90s when I used to come here, I always sort of felt like nervous about it. But actually I think what's happened with the stand and with the Glasgow Comedy Festival is this sort of super audience has been bred of, like, they've got all the things that you traditionally associate with the Glasgow crowd in the music hall era of, like, there can be quick witty heckles and they won't tolerate sort of things that aren't firing. But on the other hand, I think they can differentiate much more than other audiences between things that are maybe going somewhere because they've seen a lot of comedy now, and also Tommy and the stand tend to book, even for Saturday nights, the more interesting people. So I think you do kind of. I think it is possible to train up, to kind of create a better audience.
No, because they do. They give you time. They
give you time to fail.
Yeah. And at the end of it, some of the best times I've had here is when I've said something I've thought was hugely funny, and then everyone just sits and they shake their head, but they're nice about it, and you go, "That didn't work," and they go, "No, thanks very much."
Yeah. So I really like coming here now. So it's really nice. It was nice that we were able to do the DVD in Glasgow in the festival. Yeah.
I think I don't know about you, but I think the thing about Glasgow audiences is they're Glaswegian. When you do Edinburgh, I'll explain, that sounded stupid. When you do Edinburgh, you tend to get tourists. You get a much more, very different crowd. Yeah. Whereas here, I mean, I did one the other night and said, "Is there anyone here not from Glasgow?" And there was one person who was from Port Glasgow or Greenock, and that was it. That's how glamorous I go. And I think that means that automatically, as an audience, they're together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, a London audience doesn't mean anything as an idea because there's so many people from all over the country and all over the world there. So maybe it is a place where you can identify traits in a crowd. But certainly, I think that having the festival here and then having the stand here all year has meant that it's not just the jongleurs, highlights, whatever it is, kind of vibe. They get exposed to, they get other stuff as well. So it sort of makes for a good crowd.
Thank you very much for taking the time out to chat to us.
Thank you.
And the new series, when's the new series? Do you think, when do you start filming series 2?
Well, I start filming series 2 of Stuart Lee's Comedy Vehicle in about January 2011. Before then, I'll be doing material from it at the stand in Edinburgh all summer under the name of Vegetable Stew, and then touring that around a little bit.
You really just want a cookery book, don't you?
I do want to get a cookery book.
Because I saw it the other day at the Saturday morning cookery slot after Saturday Kitchen. Mm-hmm. They've got that Dahl woman, Sophie Dahl's now doing a show.
Right.
And it could just be vegetable stew.
Yeah.
And you could pop up after
could do
Saturday
that.
Kitchen
Yeah.
with some homespun recipes.
Mark Watson's doing a cooking show,
Yes,
isn't he, apparently? Yeah.
You could get a TV wife
Yeah.
to pretend to be your wife on television, and 3 children that aren't really yours. But thank you very much, and I'll see you in August as well. at the
Cheers,
festival.
and
Thank you
see
very
you
much.
then. Thank you.
And keep an eye on this channel as we'll be updating it with more highlights as the festival carries on.